The drive to succeed and the unrelenting passion to be the best is a part of who we are. It's in our DNA, the indomitable spirit of champions. With strength and vigor, we celebrate with pride the glory of hard-earned victories. We celebrate the greatness that is within us all. We celebrate Jamaica.
Talk Up Youth is powered by National Baking Company in association with Cran Water, a Stanley and Empress production giving the youth a voice.
Talk Up Youth.
So we come to know these youths and show these youths. Talk up youths, help the youths to know them roots. Nurture them, protect and love and hear these youths. Music make them know I love we show these youths. Save the youth, not kill the youth.
Talk Up Youth encourages all youth to find tangible solutions for their issues.
Season 6, the best of past seasons, the interview, the panel discussion, and dub poetry by Stepper.
Are you ready for today's show? Today's topic is
we come to build the youths in action, Jamaica. We are build the youths, they have youth in Jamaica.
Jamaica, what is beauty? And how do we define it? And with these definitions, does it help or hurt our young people? We've invited Ken Loy, all the way from St. Elizabeth, to join us to talk about the definitions of beauty from a male perspective. Yeah? How do you define beauty?
Well, I define beauty as being a person's own interpretation of something that is pleasing, something that is appealing to your sense of style or taste.
Okay. And you mentioned to our team that you wish you had blonde hair and blue eyes.
Yes, I did, because back then, everybody was crazy over Justin Bieber and the other celebrities. And when they came out, they were so white and they had all these different features that we didn't have as Jamaicans. And also, the persons in our school, when they were browner or had prettier hair than us, you know, they were more favorable. So I was saying then, okay, then maybe if I buy contact lenses, bleach my hair, people like me more. But I realized that later down the years that is not true.
It definitely is not true. Why is it that you think that they would be attracted to that? Is it because he's a big superstar on the television, or is it that they really do believe that that's more attractive? Why do they find him more attractive?
For me personally, I think it's both. I think it's because he is a celebrity, and at the same time, this is what is being highlighted as being, you know, beautiful, as young, as being attractive. So if everybody is saying that, okay, for instance, Jonas Brothers and all the other American celebrities who are not black, then I'm going to believe that, okay, then it is fitting or it is normal for me to want to be as white as them or to even walk in their shoes.
Let's go into, you said pretty hair. Have you ever heard or have you ever referred to the African Negro hair as pretty? Have you ever heard anybody define our natural hair as pretty or beautiful?
Honestly,
or nice?
No, because what they would say is, you know, you have pepper gray in your head, or your hair bad. You don't have Indian hair like your father, or you don't have pretty coolie hair like your mother. So for me, that was always hurting me, because I was saying that I don't have Indian, I don't have Chinese hair, but, you know, seeing other persons grow out their hair and embrace their Afro-Caribbean culture, I was saying that they do have nice hair. It's maybe not as straight, it is curly, yes, but that doesn't mean it's not as beautiful as they are.
Where do we get these ideas of beauty from?
I think...
Or where do you, and your peers in that region, where do you get your ideas of beauty from?
I think it's just the celebrity and, well, the media on a whole, what we see as being beautiful, even when we have like beauty pageants and those stuff. The ladies that come on, you don't really find lots of dark ladies coming on, lots of natural hair. You have the long flowing hair, the beautiful nice skin, and even for the young males as well, when you look at even for, say, romance novels or the things that young girls like to read about, those persons who they dream about, they're not dark and all that stuff. So I was saying that, okay, maybe this is where our idea of beauty is coming from, because we're not really embracing or researching our own culture to see that this is beautiful.
And you also mentioned the pretty skin. Would you have said that if it was a dark girl, you know, maybe my complexion or much darker, would you have said the same thing?
I would, because I believe that every complexion is beautiful. And yes, you have some that are more favorable. You have some that are more pleasing to different person's perspective. But I believe that a black woman or lady can be just as beautiful as a white one.
And do young men, do you struggle with how you see yourself, finding yourself beautiful or attractive? Do you struggle with that? Do men struggle, young boys struggle with that?
I think they do, maybe not as much as females, but they're always, asking themselves, I wonder if the girl that will like me, or I wonder if I look good, so to speak. And then when they do things like bleaching and cream their hair, you're always wondering, why is it that they're trying to create this false image?
Who bleaching and creaming their hair?
The boys.
Boys are creaming their hair and bleaching?
Sometimes, yes, they are, especially down in our area. So I was saying, why is it that you would do that? Why is it that you're trying to make a false perception of who you really are? And they're saying that, the girls like it because Cartel did it, so I can do it. And I'm saying, then that's not positive. That's negative on your side.
And what issues do the girls face with beauty?
I think it's just accepting who they are. Maybe they're saying that, okay, I don't have Empress here, so I'm not as beautiful as Empress. I don't have her eyes or her lips. So they're always trying to compete against each other to see who is, the most or who's prettier. So I believe that if we can come to a society where we're not competing, we're not so caught up in, oh, this is what beauty is and I have to look like this, then we can have a more better society, or even more beautiful society, one where we're free to express who we are and to love ourselves for just as we are.
Interesting and beautiful, and a great perspective there. Thank you for sharing that with us. And if you could now, well, how do you see yourself now? When you look in the mirror, how do you see yourself?
Well, prior to...
in the world of beauty.
Prior to today, or even a couple years ago, I always saw myself as a person who is, skinny. Chicken says, oh, you don't have straight teeth, you don't have pretty hair, so just one regular.
And pretty hair, you mean?
Coolie, Indian,
Okay.
or any of those perspectives. So I was saying that, okay, I didn't feel good about myself, especially when it came to PE class, when we know that we're playing sports, you're going to be sweaty. You're going to have to take off your shirt, or at least change. And people are going to say, it's your mug and all that. And then I saw guys who were even skinnier than I was, and they were so confident. I was saying, boy, I wish I could be like that. But no, after meeting so many different persons and realizing that, guess what, everybody's opinion is different. And what you think is beautiful is not what another person thinks is beautiful. And this girl came up to me and said that, you have a nice smile. I was saying, my smile is nice? I was saying, girl, stop. Because I didn't believe. But then after, going into arts and researching all things about beauty and saying that, guess what, it's not what you think, it's what I think. So when I look into the mirror, especially before coming on set, I was saying that, wow, you've made it far, and smile, you're doing great, you're awesome, you're going to be a great father one day, you're going to be a perfect husband. So, I feel very boosted, I feel very handsome, I feel very attractive, I feel like I can go to the beach, take off my shirt, and don't feel belittled by somebody who's more muscular than I am or anything like that.
I think you've said it all. The definitions of beauty, he said it. How do you see yourself, my young people? Well, I see myself as absolutely beautiful, the most beautiful girl in the world. My daddy told me that when I was born, and I still believe it. But most importantly, we want to hear from the other young people who are going to join us in our Talk Up Youth virtual boardroom. They're going to have the discussion. Let's see how they see beauty. And my African kinky nappy hair is the most beautiful hair ever. Let's have the show and see what they have to say. Eh?
Yes.
Good job.
Thank you.
We have to build the youths, they have a youth in Jamaica.
What is beauty? Well, today in our show, we're going to explain to you the different definitions of beauty, what our issues are. For example, my issue is that a lot of times we, young persons, define beauty as the friends we keep, what we wear, how we go out. I think that we need to stop looking at what the world sees us. We need to start looking at how we see ourselves. That is my definition of beauty.
Because we think that the Eurocentric ideology of beauty is the thing, but really it isn't. we spend all this time thinking about how I look, and we spend all this money upon hair. I mean, I have 14 packs of hair on my head, for crying out loud. It is heavy, but because I want to look pretty, I want to look nice, because that's what we're brainwashed to believe. But hey, we need to start looking at what's really important. Do I need to spend all this money on this? The youths, them really need to do their minor surgery. No, it's not the time for that. Look at yourself. Do you love yourself? Are you embracing your past and your history? Are you loving your skin? I don't think so.
So I lived in Jamaica until I was 15. And during that time, I noticed what I called a Browning syndrome, which is basically people gravitating towards light-skinned people. And so I wrote an article about it because I did not like it. I think everyone should be treated fairly. Men should choose their women based on their personalities and not their complexion. That's fine. I moved to London right after, and the trend was completely different. A lot of white people were very racist towards me because they saw me as a black woman. They didn't say, oh, she's light-skinned, so she's better looking. I was just black. And it was so different because a lot of the black guys there will tell you that they don't like black girls. They don't like black features. They prefer white women because their standard of beauty is blonde hair and blue eyes. My issue is black people hating on other black people who look just like them. You're hating your own features. That's my issue today.
And my issue with definitions of beauty is that it doesn't cater to all the variety that's present in our young people. Our music projects the idea that a woman should be curvaceous enough to please a male. And growing up as a slimmers, it was hard to love my body as my body. And as Danielle said, we hold on to the European mentality that light skin and long straight hair is more pretty, and we can't love our African selves equally. And this causes a cultural identity crisis and a low self-esteem epidemic.
My issue is that beauty is defined by complexion. It is evident in our society today, no matter how hard we try to disguise it. The complexion that you have plays a role or a crucial factor on the jobs that you get, on the pay you receive, etc. And then, as a result of this, it causes the darker skinned persons of the society to react. Now, this is why we have such an epidemic of skin bleaching in our society today, whereas the darker skinned persons are toning or bleaching their skin so that they can achieve that lighter skin, so that they can feel accepted in society today.
All of you guys made a very valid point, but I'm glad that the topic says definitions of beauty. It shows that there's not one set definition. Long gone are the days when you have blue eyes and this model-esque physique. Them some, they're storybooks, right? We live in a real world. And I love that a lot of black people are moving from that belief because, probably through oppression of the whites, we tend to believe that, if you have straight hair and flat nose. I like that black people are now realizing that full lips are okay, a broad nose is okay, nappy hair is okay. But then at the same time, you do have some people who wait on social media for a trend. If a black person didn't come and make a black tutorial saying, makeup for black girls, would you have really believed, that you were worth it? So these are things that we really need to consider. If you look on a male point of view, if you're a black man now, if you're not 6 feet and if you don't have a beard, then you're not really saying nothing.
So we just raised a whole heap of issues relating to definitions of beauty. So when we come back from the break, we're really gonna get into these and solve these problems in our society.
We have to kill the youths, they have on youth in Jamaica.
I know I can depend on my barber to give me the perfect haircut every time. Respect is also due to my bus conductor. He ensures that I am not left behind and I get on board safely. It's good to see the police protecting and reassuring with courtesy. My journey through life is unfolding every day. I pledge my heart forever to serve Jamaica, our shining homeland, with pride.
Mommy had it really hard raising 3 kids on her own.
At 17 years old, I became a father.
I started baking because I wanted to make a little extra money to just go to school.
At the time, I had to use small-scale farming to support both myself and my daughter.
When the time came to pay for my SE6 subjects, the scholarship from Cranwater, that was a blessing.
The scholarship was actually one of the greatest things that I could earn. I'm determined to be an inspiration for other young people.
We have to kill the youths, they have on youth in Jamaica.
So we had already said that beauty is defined by your complexion, how light you are, how dark you are. But I wanted to ask Sasha Gay if she feels offended by people seeing her beautiful only for her skin color?
I actually don't feel offended at all, you know. Honestly, I'm okay with it. But I think my experience is kind of different because for the most part, I'm not treated as beautiful. I lived in Jamaica until I was 15. I went to an all-girls school. I mean, there weren't that many guys looking at me. And in England, there were certainly not that many guys because, like I said, a lot of black guys prefer white girls. I'm not white. And a lot of the white guys prefer the blonde hair girls with blue eyes. So I've never felt more beautiful than anyone. In fact, recently, I had a crush on a guy here in Jamaica. And he said that he prefers tall, dark-skinned girls who model. That's not me. So I've never felt more privileged than anyone, actually.
Okay, Romari picked up a very important point saying, you know, people are asking for light-skinned ladies for jobs and they give them better opportunities. And I think it is so bad because we live in a country, I mean, everybody is black, but we have a set of people, and yes, and you find that a lot of people are of darker skin complexion. And I think it is so biased because people now look at it and think that your color has something to do with how much you can achieve, how much sales you can draw in, and that is really sad, knowing that we are a dominantly black country. Even on Instagram, because we have to talk about social media, because this is where a lot of the problem starts. We find that I saw an advertisement with a fashion company asking for light-skinned, curvy, and beautiful ladies only. And I'm saying if you put all those words together, you don't have to be light-skinned or dark-skinned to be beautiful. You don't have to be curvy to be beautiful. So what if you are beautiful and you think you're beautiful, but you don't have all these other assets? What does that say? You know, and it kind of lowers people's self-esteem because when you look on social media, you spend most of your time there, and then you tend to think that, you know, these people are not looking for me. It causes you to think less of yourself.
It's true because it's the reason why I go and spend a lot of money on makeup, sit down for 12 hours, and allow someone to wrench these into my head. Because we're just told that, hello, you know, the long hair and the clean face and, you know, a little on the lighter side is the good thing. We're thinking that, oh, okay, I need to portray this. This is what I need. Oh my gosh, because you see, guys, they look on your eye. She look oily. I don't really like her ear, it dry. Our chest too big. It's kind of too sexualized. You know, I can't bring her home to mother. But her chest too flat. I mean, come on, do better. You're a girl. Like, oh no, what? What you really want
But
from
I think that with all of this being said, personality has a lot to do with it. And if females on a whole take the time out, and I mean, look at yourself. As you said, Daniel, you spend a lot of money on your hair. You sat down for I don't want to know how long. I don't want to know how long to get that in your hair. And yet still, guys are still complaining about it. When you are out with your friends and you have all these fandangles and all is well, your friends are saying, wow, you look good. Wow, you look so beautiful. But when you go home at the end of the day, nobody's home. You are alone in your little comfort zone to de-stress. What do you see yourself? How do you see you?
It's very important that you have a lot of self-love, especially in today's world. Because you see, I went out recently and there was a lot of like UPT people and they're light and their hair is nice and straight. And I didn't really think that anybody was looking at me. And I thought when I was leaving house and I was like, oh, I look nice. Who is that? But then when I went out, I was like, all right, so who's picking me up? And when I go home and I thought about it, I was like, Daniel, you know, you are who you are and you're never going to look like that. And you just have to embrace yourself, love yourself. You have to know about your history. It's very important that you embrace your past and know that you're coming from kings and queens, beautiful black kings and queens, and you have to appreciate that. You can't look at them and be like, oh, well, my hair don't look like that, and I can't do that with my hair, and I have to put like edge control to where my edges lie down.
Daniel, you just said that their hair is nice and straight.
Let me tell you why. Because that's what we're brainwashed, and it's just such a habit for us to always say, oh, that straight hair is nice, that's the good hair. Yeah. And I'm a victim of it. I'm not going to say, you know, I'm always conscious of my past and my black beauty and stuff, I am victim of it. It's what I grew up into, and it's what I'm programmed to say. Like, your hair is nice, but to some people it's not exactly nice, but you know, your hair is nice.
Because if you think of yourself as a victim, and that is why it is surprising that you would ask a male, what do they think of you? Because you do not think anything of yourself. And I'm not saying you personality, but females tend to have that issue. They're forever changing, and it goes back to the social media and the trends. We see a lot of entertainers, you know, taking in them body like them got tail and sew up that, right? And you move on to seeing somebody with a natural body and you envy them. Instead of working for it, you know, you are trying to find other ways. You probably sit down at a sink and you push out your side to look like this for the likes and all of that. But then at the end of the day, you're like, I just want somebody to want me for who I am, but you're not showing me who you are. And maybe that is why you're not getting that answer.
Maybe because I don't know what you want. What do you want from me?
No, but if
maybe you should give yourself and I will show you what I want.
Yes, exactly. Be you. I mean, personality. Let me ask the guys here. Honestly, looking at me, I am not slim. I do not have the long, beautiful hair. I have natural hair. And my hair was creamed, and it was so beautiful. My mother enjoyed playing in my hair when my hair was creamed. But I went natural, and my hair is very coarse, I can tell you. So what I want to know is, if I pull out my hair right now, gentlemen, would you sit down behind me and run your hands through my hair? Tell me how beautiful I am. Would you?
I think that has a lot to do with preference, you know? As guys, as anybody, as individuals, you have a preference whether you like that natural coarse hair or whether you like that processed hair. So even though I might have a different preference than Liz here, it doesn't mean that you're not beautiful.
But you still haven't answered the question.
You still haven't. Would you do that to me?
Would you say you're so beautiful?
Or probably not even me.
That's not his preference. That's not his preference.
Oh,
he's just saying it nicely. That's not my preference. And
that's not my preference.
What about you, Liz?
But he tackled the issue and I share the same thing. You know, beauty is whatever you make it out to be, and beauty is also in the eye of the beholder. So beauty is also in the eye of the beholder. So maybe, wait, I'm answering it. So maybe if you pull out your hair now, I will run it. I'll try to run it right now. But the point I am making is, you know, really, it doesn't matter what we think of you, but it should be what you think of yourself.
Okay, Chanel. Again, these adjectives are coming up. You said nice, long, cream hair, but when you describe your coarse hair, you didn't say nice. Why is it that these adjectives are still in our minds, that even describing ourselves, we slip and use these adjectives?
I guess because for me, I have a mother that is into fashion. I am not. My mother is all about, Chanel, ensure that your clothes fit you and all of you're comfortable with what you have on, and it's not too tight, it's not too big, it's not too long, it's not too short. But for me, I'm a baggy pants kind of person. I will go anywhere in jeans shorts, in jeans pants, in baggy. I will go anywhere casually in that. Parties, oh my God, parties for me are draw on my big jeans, and normally it's for male jeans, that big baggy jeans and a big shirt. That's me going to a party and enjoying myself. I am the center of attention in those. And when I'm walking or going out to a party, my friends will be like, you couldn't wear something sexier. I'm like, please, I am sexy to me. Who cares what you think? I'm not going there to look anybody. I'm going there to enjoy myself in whatever I choose to wear. And that's me being comfortable with me. My personality takes over any room. Can I tell you? And sitting down here and listening to everybody, I'm hearing about the skin color and the tone, person's bleaching. But come on, is that really the definition about beauty? That's what came to your head when we were talking about definitions of beauty?
And I thought of that as something very important, because based on research, I do realize, and it is something that is very true, some people may find you beautiful here, and when you go somewhere else, they don't find you beautiful because they're looking at the outward appearance. So we find that Kim Kardashian, you know, she has her surgical procedures, and we find our entertainers, and I mean, if you go into Korea, that is probably nothing to look at. That's probably very distasteful. So it really matters about the inside, because that inside thing, even though the physical one may not be something that is universally accepted, that inside beauty cannot be denied, and everybody can see that once you let it out.
When I look at you, I'm just seeing your face before you speak to me or we have a conversation. So we do judge people first on their looks, and our looks are definitely influenced by media and our culture. So I go to a strict Catholic high school, and certain hairstyles are not allowed. We can't wear nappy hairstyles, it has to be combed down, and these things are culture influenced things. And the question that I'm asking is, over 50 years from independence, and we still have these bad definitions of beauty instilled in us that we'll slip and say all these adjectives for the wrong definitions of beauty.
Ah, that's a good point.
Very good, but at the same time, it doesn't matter how you look, isn't it really what you're going to school for? Like how we look. Why we always have to keep our hair a certain way? What does it, when I cream my hair or I color it or I want it natural or I want it creamed, how does that affect how I'm learning? Isn't it just me going to go and I get the education? Whatever I do with my hair, the education not come out, you know. Because once I have that solid education, nothing I do. I could have chop it off, I could have grow it out long, I'm still going to have this. And nothing is going to change that. So I don't know why how we look has to determine stuff like that. I think it's ridiculous.
That's why, to an extent, I appreciate what my school is doing. It helps you to focus on what you're doing here and show you that you're coming to school. So set your focus on schoolwork and not on the elaborate hairstyles.
But then I disagree, because you're saying that your school is kind of denying you from your natural rights. I mean, every school should have the opportunity to wear a nappy hair as long as nothing itch up in the head. But that is who you are. Why is it that you need to conform, you know, cover your mouth when you're laughing, have your hair plaited or twisted? What does that have to do with anything? You know, she just mentioned it doesn't affect your achievement. So why is it that your school is trying to kind of soften you down and make you look white?
It's a society thing.
It's
how we are.
It's
where we're coming from, of course.
It's not where we're coming from, it's where we are now.
Yes, true. Because bearing in mind, you had said, Daniel, that we should look where we're coming from. When I open the history book and I see Tainos and Arawaks and all of that, their hair was like, their hair was all natural, let go. They didn't have a care in the world about ensuring that, yes, hair stays flat, well groomed, ensuring that the ends are clipped, they're all straight. They didn't really care about that. Sasha, you were saying that whether in Jamaica or in the UK, you're saying that the men don't see you as a black woman or as beautiful. But how comes? I mean, your definition, look at our skin color. I mean, you're brown, according to society, you're brown, you're beautiful. I'm dark. So how comes you're not really?
I think maybe because I never lived on the other side, but I just always thought that Jamaican men liked everybody and they look everybody. So I never felt more special than anyone else when living in Jamaica.
Well, that's the thing about it, is Jamaican men will look every girl that they see, every girl that passes them. But it doesn't mean that they actually like that person.
They think she's beautiful, you know.
It doesn't mean that they think that they're beautiful. In actuality, Jamaican men see brownings or brown females as being beautiful. And then the darker skinned females see this and they have to react. And I think that is what actually causes that epidemic of skin bleaching, where the darker girls and males, because females are also attracted to lighter skinned guys. So that caused that epidemic where these darker skinned persons are bleaching their skin so that they can seem more attractive to other persons.
It's true, because I thought I was dark when I was younger, and somebody was like, the brown girl, the brownie, and I was like, I'm brown? Really? I mean, I'm actually that? And I was just so astonished, because I'm like, that means I'm pretty, that means I'm gorgeous, that means I'm beautiful.
So in your mind, brown is the definition of beauty?
It was what I thought. It was what I thought. But what I've come to realize is when you stop paying attention to things like, how am I going to get brown? Stop mulling it with all these bleaching creams and makeup, and you're trying to put all these things to make your skin look great. Take care of it. Rub your cocoa butter and your coconut oil, exfoliate your dark skin, and love yourself. Love your black skin.
But when you say that rub your cocoa butter and take care of your black skin,
you know what I mean?
What you sound like you're saying is that black skin can't be beautiful without being taken care of.
No, but I'm just saying, transfer that energy that you put in trying to look beautiful by what society says into taking care of yourself.
All right, let me expound on Daniel. Let me piggyback on you. Taking care of yourself is not just all about rubbing on the lotion. It should be simple as you wake up in the morning.
In terms of not only taking care of your skin physically, but taking care of your inner self. Right?
Not
that
only
means
your
loving
inner self,
yourself,
yes.
accepting yourself, appreciating yourself. So I'm not talking about physically bathing your skin. I mean, yeah, that's
No, but
normal.
you had said cocoa butter, rubbing it down with cocoa butter.
Understand what I said? Oh my gosh.
All right. Taking care of your skin, as you said, Daniel, should be something natural as waking up in the morning, having breakfast.
Yeah,
I mean, saying good morning to your family.
A lot of people aren't like that.
Not really. They feel that if they're going out to a party or they know that they're going to run into this guy that they like, they put extra effort in there. They put on double coating of lotion, or they put on this heavy duty makeup, and at the end of the day, that kills the skin. Many a times the chemicals that they put on their face, it just dries out the skin and it kills all that, the natural oil and the natural things that will make you so beautiful.
Can I say this last thing? We're all talking about definitions of beauty and we're focusing on the female perspective, but we never really look at how males think of themselves in Jamaica. You know, we're so pressured sometimes. You know, you spoke about how males, you know, remember that's okay. You know that beauty is in the color, the shape, the form. You want somebody with that body of a movie star. You want somebody.
Why are you trying to pin
that is not you. But I'm telling you that there are so many. I have so many friends from different classes with the same idea. You want a light-skinned man. If he's not in a car, then you know no car, no par. And I am saying that
6 foot. He has to be 6
exactly.
feet.
And touch it. And they're thinking that beauty is not even just that physical thing for the male, but beauty are the assets that come with it, and I'm saying that you're an educated person and you should think in an educated way. When I want to go to Sovereign now and meet my friends or whatever, and if I'm not driving, I feel, you know, less of a man. And I should not feel that way, but then when you guys pose up with your calm man and a bag of things on Instagram and getting, you know, thousands of likes, and then you know that the only thing that Lich has now is a broad shoulder, but there is no abs. I think there's one ab, and you know, sometimes I just want to post my face alone on social media because my face is good enough, but I don't know where the rest of my body is. But then, even though, yes, it is important to have that internal confidence, sometimes it is really you, the females, that make us feel less of ourselves.
Well, I'm sorry.
It's about preference.
No, it's not about preference. I feel male and males like any female. Females only like some males. So I think it's a matter of males being lovey-dovey while females discriminating.
Male don't like any females. I don't think so.
Male and female alike, different strokes for different folks.
Yes.
Not everybody will like the same thing. Not everybody will believe the same thing. You know, I might think Ramari's dark skin is more attractive than Lidge. Somebody might think vice versa. That's just how it is.
What an interesting discussion. I'm loving all these unique perspectives, and I know you viewers are too. Stay tuned to Talk of Youth.
We have to kill the youths, they have a mute in Jamaica.
It's a new day, filled with new challenges and possibilities. It's another opportunity for us to be the best that we can be. Now is the time to work diligently and creatively with true respect for all. Now is the time to think honestly, serve faithfully, and respond to duty's call.
Let's keep it clean today.
Mommy had it really hard raising 3 kids on her own.
At 17 years old, I became a father.
I started baking because I wanted to make a little extra money to just go to school.
At the time, I had to use small-scale farming to support both myself and my daughter.
When the time came to pay for my SE6 subjects, the scholarship from Cranwater, that was a blessing.
The scholarship was actually one of the greatest things that I could earn.
It's very important to pursue education and to strive towards greatness.
So, after dissecting all these definitions of beauty, it's time to talk about the solutions. And truly, I believe that we need to start teaching people where to find fulfillment and how to wear joy instead of wandering through their lives shackled to shopping bags. Because quite frankly, we're all we have. We need to embrace and love ourselves.
Sometimes it's not even that easy because as Jamaican youths, we are socially conditioned to see lighter-skinned persons as being more attractive than darker-skinned persons. I think a solution is, the onus is really on the society itself to start appreciating the darker skin and appreciating that your self-worth is more than enough.
Yeah, exactly. And as you said, more people. I think more people need to step out and break the mold of the definitions of beauty. We need more people like Senator Mary, who was the Miss Jamaica World, who was the first competitor with dreadlocks. Just a simple thing as being unique in a competition where everybody has a uniform way is a way to show our young girls that there is more and that you can be who you are and beautiful just as you are. Also, to all my fellow slimmers out there, remember that you are beautiful just as you are, and you don't have to fit the shape of someone else to be beautiful. You don't have to please a man or a boy to be beautiful, and your body is defined by God and it is made to be beautiful.
Parents, encourage your child. That's all I have to say. Let them know that, yes, stop focusing on, oh gosh, wearing this makes you beautiful. Focus on you personally. You know, tell them that you're good. You look beautiful every single day, even if it gets tired to your child. Tell them that. Let them know that it doesn't matter what anybody on the road says to you. At the end of the day, you are beautiful and wonderfully made. Focus on the inner beauty.
Black men, you need to start showing black women more love, whether they're light skinned or they're dark skinned. Especially the dark-skinned women, because they're a reflection of you. They look like you. Why would you discriminate against them and say you prefer a brown girl or a white girl over them? That's showing that you probably don't love yourself as much as you should. So you need to do some self-evaluation and start loving your woman. Because when you do that, there will be a lot less skin bleaching and they'll be a lot happier and more confident in themselves knowing that their men love them.
To the youths them, I just want to say to maintain that self-stability, you are confident, just as how Lupita says, you know, you are enough, you are valid. A lot of us tend to pay attention to celebrities, but guess what? They are living a fairy tale life and we are in this life here and now. So I just want you to embrace your melanin, embrace your nappy hair, your broad nose, your thick lips. All right? There is not one definition of beauty, but you find your own and accept that. And think of yourself as a brand, because when you put that out there, people have no choice but to love and respect you.
Yes, exactly. It's all about our own definitions of beauty. Now we throw it out to Steppa.
Beauty, they say, is in the eyes of the beholder. Lo and behold, 6 pound of eyelash, some silicone and some skin toner. Yes, I am. Lo and behold, beauty in the eyes of the beholder. Yes, I. Woman put on skin toner at diva pan fleek with her top dog in a street. Yeah, man. Big man tone him skin because him not turner. Beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. Yes. At pan street in a fleek, beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. Curvaceous, all this kind of fake stuff. Yes, I. Woman a go a gym, man a go a Janet go buff up. 6-pack, me with my 1-pack can't match up. But what? Beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. Love of self, firm element. Love of self, beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. What me say? Love yourself whether you're black or you're light skin round ya. Love of self, beauty in the eyes of the beholder. Not afraid for chat. Talk up youth, talk up youth, talk up youth. Me say fi, talk up youth.
Talk up youth, me say fi, talk up youth.
We have to kill the youths, they have a youth in Jamaica.
Talk Up Youth is powered by National Baking Company in association with Cran Water, a Standing Empress production giving the youth a voice.